I promise you it'll be equally as good. You do not need to marry someone for protection when you can just get a pet to do it. I promise you. Get good at guns, get a dog. Dog. Yeah, someone shoot your husband too. Get a gun yourself. You can do that. Who cares? I don't want to feel like some pathetic loser laying in bed while my husband wakes up to like go fight someone. I'll go fight with him. We'll be the team together. Doesn't that sound a lot cooler? I would feel better about myself. He will feel more safe. I'll feel more safe. Why the f would I be in the closet and just sit there like a pathetic What? This is some bull. How pathetic are women nowadays in that case if that's what they want? Are you kidding me?
As you can see, women despise all single men, and the more single men they see, the more cause for anxiety they have. To understand this, we must first examine women's fundamental physiology and thought processes. Women believe equality only exists for them, and that all rights are theirs to have. Feminism used to be about choice, and that's what it essentially should be about. A lot of these modern women choose wrong, and should be held accountable for their choices.
What rights do men have today that women don't?
Oh, let's go down the list. Men are able to walk out maybe in whatever they want to wear, or, you know, be able to stand strong through societal pressure.
Able to stand strong through societal pressure. So now you're saying women aren't strong enough to stand through societal pressure. Okay, maybe that's a you problem, not a man problem.
I've already talked about hypergamy in the past, and how women are constantly seeking the ideal partner. They won't have anyone to sell their beauty. Let me now talk about how women cherish their perception and self-respect. Many things will start to make sense and fall into place once you realize that. This is their key selling point, and is generally acknowledged. Women are often utilized as symbols of lust and love, since a woman's attractiveness is her most powerful tool. That is what made her desirable in the past, the reason why the beauty industry exists, why jewelry has been worn for thousands of years, why makeup has been used since ancient Egypt, and why women place such emphasis on their appearance. They will find better suitors the more they can make themselves look like that. A woman will have a sizable pool from which to select her ideal partner, and she will almost surely select the one with the highest value. That implies that the size of the pool a woman may attract is the main determinant of her value in society. If no one approaches her and she is turned down, she will become completely worthless. If you think being rejected as a man hurts, wait till you see how rejection affects women. When they are rejected, women completely break down. They simply aren't accustomed to it. When a date is canceled or they are rejected, women have a hard time digesting the truth.
I have said this before and I will say it again. It's crazy how a good man will put up with a woman's nonsense for far too long. Because these men want so badly to maintain the promises made within the relationship. He will even put aside most of his wants and needs in order to maintain the commitment within the relationship. He will not just pack his stuff and leave because he's not happy. He will just give her time and space to come around, to get back to the place where they used to be. But the problem is when that woman has too much built up resentment for things left unsaid, that she mentally checks out of the relationship without him even knowing. Because, let's face it, if he knew that, he wouldn't keep trying the way that he is. Because no man wants to feel like he's forcing a woman to be where she doesn't want to be. Trust me, he would rather be single than to feel undesired where he is or to feel like a burden. But because she's not being transparent with him, she basically allows him to self-destruct until she is ready to leave.
With more men going their own way, women have fewer chances of receiving validation and free attention that stokes their egos online. Some women like these can even be found on TikTok. When they are in their late 20s and have fewer options for partners, you'll find them more frequently. Women, particularly contemporary women who are the most hypergamous ever, fear single men who are content with their lives. It makes them sick to their stomachs to see a single man, and yet who is so happy and doing so well, isn't asking for attention from women, and is not giving it freely online on dating websites such as Tinder. This threatens women's ability to attract men and diminishes their worth. Because that's what society expects, they've exploited males pursuing them to get their attention and making marriage proposals. According to society, you need to find the ideal girl and have a happy marriage to be truly happy. In order to find the actual and ideal man, women rely on this fantasy and date hundreds of guys in this manner. Because they have consistently disobeyed what society has advised them to do, lone guys are akin to rebels in that system. It's almost a fact that single men are able to truly understand the nature of women. Many successful and educated guys understand that women exaggerate their feelings. This is not solely my viewpoint. Every stand-up comic and successful man who has easy access to women will admit that they analyzed the cost-to-rewards ratio and discovered it to be negative. In reality, the danger-to-benefit ratio declines even further when you take into account contemporary problems like harassment legislation, divorce pitfalls, and allegations. In order to pursue a more fulfilling form of happiness, many men who had unpleasant interactions with women simply gave up and started living as bachelors, working out, creating businesses, and traveling. Happiness that a woman is incapable of giving. Men are aware of the nature of women and no longer desire to play that game. They even overcame their innate impulses and stopped attributing their happiness and worth to the women they chose to date. Instead, they began to rely on their life's mission, which is a fatal blow to the woman who relies on these men to approach her in clubs so she may receive free drinks, extravagant dinners and clothes, and write about it all on social media. They can't control men the way they could before. Don't you agree? The woman no longer has control over men. Thus, it poses a serious threat. Women would be pursuing men, while men would be too preoccupied with their objectives to give a damn if these men had inspired even more men. Remember that women's attractiveness and appeal are finite, and the instant she reaches her limit, she will leave the dating scene. The value of a man, on the other hand, will increase if he stays unmarried since he has nothing to lose. She will be in a lot of trouble if she doesn't find a boyfriend immediately. Women can no longer play the damsel in distress like in the past. Now, since men know the true nature of women, they also know the games that women play to lure men into relationships, and then use their wealth and resources to enjoy life, only to monkey branch to other men. And women perfectly mask all of this with the Hollywood-style narrative of love. Women merely want us to fall for the trap and engage in a rigged game of love is our battlefield with them. Women gain power by portraying weakness because it motivates males to step up, get involved, and take care of them. Men will, however, go their own way and look for other reasons for existing in addition to defending women as women assert their power more and more. If women don't need our protection, why are we still around? While women want men to stick by their sides, look after them, and listen to their problems, they also want men to think they are independent of them. Men who prefer to act independently tend to stay away from women and refrain from playing the game. Instead, we decide to stay in the grubby liberal cities. As a result, we accumulate more wealth and alienate the women, who are disillusioned when they see what they are unable to acquire. All in all, single men who choose to go their way are going to severely deplete the ability of women to use men on a larger scale. When the economics of it is not in favor of women anymore, the markets will shift. More men meant more leverage for women in the past. With fewer men in the dating pool, the leverage is now going to start going toward the men. That's what makes modern women despise men who go their own way and choose to be single. Modern women were born and raised to believe that the world around them owed them everything they wanted in life. They were told how to use and exploit men, and they were told how to ensure that men always revolved around them, ready to help, support, and be available for any sort and kind of intimacy that these women wanted for themselves. They were also told that men are meant to be used and discarded, and that women can monkey branch from one man to the next to level up on resources, money, social influence, and power. So, let's get on with the most important reasons why these women don't understand men who have taken the back seat in relationships and have chosen to go their own way and live their lives as free and independent men, without the hassles of dealing with demanding women who only use and exploit them. It just decreases the chance of hypergamy. The most significant insight a man can have is the fact that women fear single men much more than men do. Most single men are straightforward. They are single because they don't have enough worth. They are either unwanted or they haven't put forth enough effort to improve themselves to gain the respect of women. Simply put, unmarried men are reluctant to approach women out of concern that they might come across as weird and be turned away. Would you believe me if I said the game is entirely different? Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.